Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Mario podcast. I am your host, Kaleb Schweiss.
I am Joe.
And today, if you couldn't tell, because you're an idiot, we're not reviewing Xenogears, which was supposed to be our next game. We are instead reviewing Mario Sports Mix, because why the fuck not? It has a few things from Final Fantasy in it, which was brought to our attention very recently, and so we decided that it would be best for me to drive down here, for us to one-shot this game, and then for us to review it right after, and that's exactly what we're doing right now.
That's right. So, this is thanks to a longtime friend of the show, Shinru. He was like, hey guys, here's a whole bunch of games that count as Final Fantasy, and only one of them, through our criteria,
our FF Civ
actually counted as a Final Fantasy, or one of the games that we needed to play. This is not a Final Fantasy game, clearly, but it is one of the games we needed to play, and it has been around for years, and yet somehow went under our radar completely. It has been on our list of games for a while now, but I knew that what it would be because it was so short. And when I found out it was multiplayer, we just put it on the list of, okay, when we have a weekend, we can both play. We play a chunk of this. The chunk never happened. We're too busy for the chunk to happen, so we had to make the chunk happen in between games. So now we're here to talk Mario Sports Mix, starring Moogle, crack addict Moogle.
yeah. Street Moogle.
Slutty White Mage. Dude Bro Red Mage. And is that about it as far as Final Fantasy stuff? Oh, and the Behemoth, of course.
Behemoth final boss, yeah.
Because we could have counted it as beat if we beat any of the tournaments, because of course we did get credits. But you don't see Behemoth unless you beat all the goddamn tournaments in the game.
Yeah.
And then you can fight him in a very bizarro fight.
Yeah.
And then you can get another thing of the exact same credits right after. And open up, of course, the game mode, which the secret game mode would be Sports Mix, in which instead of tournaments of each individual sport, guess what? It's a mix.
Oh, man. I would have never guessed, honestly. I mean, I say that, but we did check it out just to see. It's like, do we have to do this? Nah. Fuck that.
Yeah, the game took us a total of 6 hours and 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Proudly beating the how long to beat time of like 6.5 hours, which is nice.
It doesn't always happen.
No. So, yeah. So what did you braved snowstorms, 3.5 hours of driving.
Yep.
And temptation, culinary temptation.
Yeah, there's food here.
For hours.
There's food here, and I'm getting shaky thinking about it.
And then you're going to brave the storms and go right back.
That's right, yeah. So this was
That's up to you. I have a bed if you want to sleep here.
Nah.
Okay.
I've got a nice, I just figured I'd waste an entire day, you know?
Sure. Not two?
Nah, not two.
Okay.
Because it was originally, we were going to do it over a couple days, but...
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I was just in a conversation with you where I went, these are the options, and then he went, I want this one, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's all right. We're good. I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad we did the multiplayer for it, because there's not very many multiplayer games left. By very many, I mean 0.
No, where are you in Xenogears?
I haven't put it in the PlayStation yet. I did buy a PS1 from a guy.
After destroying all those Kingdom Hearts games, just like wham, 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 wham.
Yeah, I gotta like chill out on the games.
We're like 2.5 weeks away from the last Kingdom Hearts we beat.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, that feels like a lifetime ago. I feel like a different person now.
It was last year, technically, so.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
New Year's resolutions and Twilight Princess and...
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne get in the way. But Yeah. We're not here to talk about any of that, though. We're here to talk about Mario Sports Mix, which is a sports video game developed by Square Enix and published by Nintendo. The game was released on the Wii in early 2011 and features 4 sports games: volleyball, ice hockey, dodgeball, and basketball. Dodgeball is not a sports game, but whatever. The game mostly features Mario characters, but naturally also has Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest characters in it. The game received mixed reviews, but did end up selling just under 2 million copies, which is kind of crazy.
The mixed reviews don't surprise me. In fact, you would assume.
Mario Sports Mix.
Yeah, you assume that that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
We told you it would be a mix.
Yeah. It's like,
and you're giving us mixed feelings. That's exactly what we're looking for.
They probably had a big statement like, this gave us the exact results we wanted. Mixed. So this marks the 3rd Mario game developed by Square Enix after Super Mario RPG, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, and then, of course, this one. The game was directed by Shin Azuma, produced by Toyokazu Nonaka and Hiroyuki Miura, and features music from Masayoshi Soken and Kumi Tanioka, who composed the Crystal Chronicles series.
Oh, yeah. Classics.
Yeah, so you can forget her name. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, though. 2 million copies. That's a pretty big game. Like, for a game that I didn't know existed, that's solid numbers. I mean,
a game no one talks about, doesn't exist, hardly any guides on this game.
Yeah. I mean, we had to figure it out.
Yeah, I was like, how do I get Behemoth in this game? And it was like, you got to beat all the ninjas. And I'm like, okay, where are the ninjas? Then it was like, it was the Star Cup. Like, can't you just give me like a fucking chart that goes beat this, beat this, beat this, equals this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, man. Can't have it.
Yeah, I don't like that first Google search result. Don't worry, you can go down further the page. There are better results out there, but I always go for the first one and then regret it.
Yeah.
For these games here. It's an interesting mix of games. We have we have basketball, hockey, and volleyball and dodgeball. Of course, dodgeball, outside of the wonderful Ben Stiller movie, I don't actually think is like a real big professional thing.
No.
We're missing soccer, American football, rugby.
Yeah. There's
Take
real
your
sports.
pick. Yeah, there's some other real sports that can.
So, interesting choice.
Yeah, interesting choices on this one.
Glad they went with basketball again, because that one's always fun.
I'm going to kill the person who came up with volleyball and hockey.
Yeah, those are
no
miserable.
tennis. I wonder if they had to be like, you can't be anything on Wii Sports.
They did say they wanted to make it unique for the Mario sports games, but they didn't do that because basketball is in them. But
That's true, yeah, because there's Mario Strikers. And then, of course, this is kind of a sequel to
Hoops.
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
I mean, it's got music by Masayoshi Soken. It's got Final Fantasy characters in it. It's got a very similar layout, kind of similar gameplay.
I mean, yeah, it's about as close of a sequel as there could ever be conceived.
Yeah, I would say that this is at least I'm going to have to do some Googling while you talk then, because I thought this was like more of a deliberate sequel than what you're saying. But yeah, it's
yeah, maybe
a sequel to that game that actually both of us liked a lot.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So the story mode takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, where Toad is doing some gardening. Suddenly, something crashes in the area behind Princess Peach's castle. Princess Peach's. I love a good peach. Toad runs through the object and finds a red crystal containing a basketball, a green crystal containing a volleyball, and a blue one containing a hockey puck. He organizes tournaments for the sports. After beating each of the tournaments, 3 tournaments within each sport. The player is taken to a boss fight against Behemoth from FF. After you beat Behemoth, like we said earlier, a sports mode is unlocked. This mode is essentially the same, except all 4 sports are involved with each tournament, as opposed to all one fucking sport forever and ever. And the final boss is Behemoth King rather than Behemoth. But of course, we didn't do that because that's bullshit. Behemoth King, that ain't enough. That's a reskin.
It's bullshit. I'm not doing 3 more tournaments and have the possibility of losing.
Yeah, which
I don't like that.
We lost 1 round total, I think, in dodgeball, and it was pretty stressful.
Shameful. Yeah, we were like, no, are we gonna have to learn how to play this?
Yeah.
Well,
the answer was no, of course, but thank God.
Thank the Lord on high. So we did each. So there are 3 tournaments in each sport. And so we did 12 tournaments today.
Yeah.
And then at the end, of course, you got to fight the white mage and the ninja. And then after you do all of the star cups, which is like the hardest of the 3 on each, then you get Behemoth, as you said. And we did 1 sport at a time. There was a part of me, there was one point when we were like 3 games into hockey and I was bored to death. And I was like, man, should we just mix it up? Should we just
sports mix?
Should we sports mix this up? And we should do 1 tournament here and then go over to volleyball and do another tournament and then go over to fucking dodgeball and do another tournament.
You know, we really should have done that.
You're saying that, but at the same time, we wouldn't have been in the zone each time.
Yeah.
There would have been an adjustment period and it would have gotten successively harder.
That's true.
So
that is true. I mean,
I had that entire chain of thought go through my head, and that's why I never said it.
It didn't occur to me at all to do that. I was just like, we're doing this, we're crushing this, and then we're crushing this.
Well, I agree on the crushing this, but when you started doing the math, I'm like, how fucking long are some of these games, dude? Some of them are long. So I do want like the caveat being that we are gonna review this. Probably this is gonna be like a 30-minute review, but we're gonna review this game. We spent all this money and all this time to come down here for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it really sounds like a waste of time when you put it that way.
And I want you to know.
It's weird.
No, there was a point late into the thing I was like, we're going to talk about this for 45 minutes max. There's nothing to say about this game. I mean, we could complain about it for sure, but I do want you guys to know, kind of like with some of the Kingdom Hearts games, we played this in one sitting, and we were like, we're going to, because it's me and Caleb, we're going to beat this as fast as humanly possible to never have to touch this game again because that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so our review is through that lens. It's not through the lens of, oh, I got this fun kids game. I can play it with my bud, and I'm 15 years old, and we can play. We can find out that hockey is boring, and we can play basketball and dodgeball all day, either against each other or in a team. We never did play against each other.
No,
that was dumb.
That's okay.
Yeah, TV. Everything's put away. So I want you guys to know that like our review might be unfair just because of how we played it.
Yeah.
And how we just fucking like do. We're like, okay, can we beat this dodgeball game in 12 seconds?
Yeah. The answer is yes.
So yeah. We started as the menu starts with basketball. What did you think of basketball?
I thought that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed the dunks and the half court shots and the specials, and I felt like stealing was easy. Basically, what we would do to beat the basketball, and this is going to be a common theme, we would score a bunch of points, and then we would just fuck around and like waste the clock until it was gone. And we pretty much did that, 12, 15 times until it was all over?
You know, I always had this point of view, and I actually this week, when we were playing the basketball, I was thinking about this. I rewatched The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix. It's really fucking good. And I'm not even like a sports guy. Yeah. I like live basketball games, but that's about it. That's about where I kind of draw. I've gone to like live football games. They're not that exciting to me. It's a lot of just like, our American football games. And then soccer, oh my God.
Even worse.
Way worse. Even more boring. Like, how can you fucking play? Like, what are we waiting for if we're just like, a game has 3 points total? Like,
yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Golf, of course, is the worst offender of all games to watch, at least. All those games are exciting to play, but because The Last Dance is so good, it gets you kind of like involved in basketball, even though you're like, I'm kind of like I'm like a D- on the sports fan side of things. Gone to a couple live Clippers games. Those were a lot of fun. But again, it's the live part of it. Watching it on TV is just like, that's fine, but
yeah, it's not as exciting.
I got other things on TV, But anyway, Last Dance was in my head, and Michael Jordan was in my head. So I enjoyed like having that connection with basketball while I was playing this bullshit basketball game where we let the shot clock just go, and then we try to make a shot, and we're just like letting the time go down. Yeah, it's crazy because we're playing on normal mode. So it's not like we're playing on like fuck you easy mode. We're just playing on normal. And we're like fucking pun intended dunking on these guys.
Yeah.
And then they can't do anything. So we go until we hit like double digits on the points. And then we back up and then we play a game of keep away. For 30 seconds at a time in order to make the time go. And I got to tell you, like, would it be more exciting to beat the basketball game and really beat it and get like 70 points or whatever? Sure.
I guess.
If you were playing it as a normal person, sure, that would be more exciting.
I don't know, man.
But if you're trying to beat the game...
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing, though. I'd be like, it's not very fun if I'm just wrecking these guys.
Yeah, that's probably true. I bet the multiplayer might be pretty fun, though, where you're against other people.
Yeah, if we had 4 people playing, that would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been kind of cool. But there is no challenge there. We did get to at least one challenging stage of basketball and hockey. Extremely challenging stage. So this was actually the real final boss. So at the beginning of the Star Tournament, you have, in a couple of these games, you have a level that is like, it's like a points multiplier level of some kind.
Yeah.
And the basketball one was if you're standing above, it'll have a circle with like a number, it'll say like ×2 or +10 or whatever. Like some of them are large numbers. Some of them are minus numbers. If you shoot and make it from that spot, you will then have that point, added into the equation.
Yeah, or subtracted.
Heavily. And these circles on the ground are constantly popping up and constantly changing. So you could just be like in your auto mode, like about to make a shot. And then, for example, something that was a +10 turns into a -15. And then suddenly this game that you thought was the easiest fucking thing you've ever played becomes about one of the most stressful things that's ever happened to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that. I was like shooting just a little jumper and it was going to be a big old gain. And then right as I let go, it switched to like -20 and we were losing by like a bunch. So we had to come back.
We had to actually play the game. That's what happened. Then it became a difficult game. Like if you put a fucking -20 point handicap on us, then the game becomes difficult, believe it or not.
Yeah. So, I mean, then we just got the points and then we, of course, reverted back to the pro strat of hold the ball forever and then don't let them touch it. And then when they get it back, you just steal it from them again, and then do the same thing.
Yeah, so it's a very simplified sports game. You'll have like 2 to 4 players on your team or whatever. I played it single player once. Like, it was the volleyball that I played.
Ugh, jeez.
And I barely remembered it happening, but that's what it was, because I remember having to go over nets. So I played a single player once, and it's just like, I think it's a team of 3, and you're just like, you're passing the ball, and then you're playing every character once you have the ball.
Okay, yeah.
But when you're playing multiplayer, which of course is why we did this, you're playing multiplayer, then like you're just controlling that one single character. Anyway, it's a simplified sports game. It's simple. Like, the rules are similar to the actual games that you're playing, but also not.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a Wii Sports simplified version of whatever the game is. And the only one that I think we had difficulty like understanding totally was the volleyball point system, because you go up to 15 and then it's like a 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And it's whoever's 15 first. But if you both hit 14, then the point it extends points.
Yeah, you got to get like 16 pretty much.
Fuck if I know. Why volleyball?
I mean, that's kind of how volleyball, or no, that's how, no, I think that's how volleyball and tennis kind of work.
Yeah, tennis is the other game I don't understand the scoring system to. Like, who came up with this bullshit?
Tennis does the similar thing where, like, when you get to a certain point, you have to, like, score and then score again.
Yeah, they use words like love and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah, like lame.
Yeah, what is love?
Yeah.
This game hurts me. God, what else is there about basketball? I think that was really that was pretty much our strategy for all of basketball.
Yeah.
And yeah, it got mildly more difficult in the third stage, the star stage, but it was still not.
We still smashed and smoked and wasted time.
And then we had hockey.
Yeah, so hockey, there's a pattern here where it's like 50% crappy and 50% good sports games. So the hockey one is a crappy one. You got your characters, you're running around on the rink, whether it's actual ice or fucking desert or whatever the fuck it is. It's all over the place in this game. And you've got a goalie that's an NPC for each team, and then the 2 players on your team, 2 players on the enemy team. And basically you just have to kind of strafe to the side a little bit and then smack it in. But this one... And then I guess in basketball, too, you would pick up coins and it would add multipliers to your score.
Oh, that was the other part. I was saying it was a simple sports game, but it was also a bit like Mario Kart.
Yeah, you got like power-ups, you have weapons you can use, you can throw shells at people, throw bombs at people, and like just kind of fuck up the game a little bit. But hockey...
They should add that to the NBA.
Yeah, just bombs.
Yeah, just throw bombs at people.
Yeah, I mean,
who cares if he was the MVP?
Yeah, now he's got no legs. But yeah,
try shooting now, fucker.
Yeah. Okay, no arms or legs. Yeah, so the hockey one. The problem with hockey is it's really long and it's really boring. So we had the similar, believe it or not, the strategy is basically the same.
Oh, it's the same.
You get in, you score like 10 to 15 points.
Without a shot clock. So there's no like extra, yeah,
you gotta hurry,
or else they get the puck.
And luckily the NPCs until about, I don't know, the second
expert mode.
Yeah. They aren't like, they haven't like fully awakened yet. It's like they don't realize they could come behind the net and like get the ball or the puck. So you just kind of score a bunch of points and then you sort of hide behind the net and then you wait to win.
I'll do some circles around the net is what I'll do. Cause like they take wider turns, like the AI. So if you take sharp turns around the net, they're fucking done, dude.
Yeah, they can't handle.
Get you. I mean, you do have to be on your toes, but that is if you have the puck. You never did it. It seems like I was always the one who had the puck, and I was just like waiting. But if you have the puck, you know, you're going around and playing like a game of keep away, which it's mildly entertaining once or twice.
Yeah, but when you got to do it, what, 12 to 15 times?
Yeah. The game is, it's not challenging enough. And not that I complain too much about that, but I think even for anybody, that would not be challenging enough. Volleyball is a different story. Volleyball,
it's long, and it's kind of hard.
Yeah, volleyball, it was long and hard.
Was not full of semen, but no submarine here.
The other two modes, so basketball and hockey, it looked like it took us about an hour 15, maybe an hour 30 for each of those.
Yeah.
Volleyball, because there is no time on the clock, and it's a slow, long, frustrating game, difficult. I would say difficult the entire time.
Yeah.
This is the big exception to the entire game because volleyball is an asshole. Because of that, that was like 3 hours to beat all the fucking tournaments in volleyball.
Yeah, that was like half our day, basically, of playing this 6-hour game with volleyball. And it's hard because it's like the pattern is you got to bounce it up, and then you can score. But like the controls are kind of wonky.
Like from the other team we had two people on our team, and you're supposed to have one person kind of near the front and the other person kind of in the back. You know, if you want to cover more ground. If you don't, if you want to confuse the fuck out of everybody, you can right up someone's ass the whole time, and we could be confused about who's passing to who. Every time.
Weirdly specific.
So, the ball comes in, and you have a moment where you can like pass it or like set it, I guess. I don't fucking know my terms here.
I think it's set, yeah.
And then the other... No, because you grab the ball, twice. You pass it, and then the other person sets it for you. So you do like this just back and forth. So it's like, it's like a pass and then a setup to hit the volleyball in at an angle. And you have like, maybe a second or two to like aim the volleyball reticle.
Yeah, not that it matters because there's some cheap ass way that they can stop you almost every time.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, there's some marshmallows that like to help the enemy team, or mushrooms. I guess.
Yeah, they pop out of the ground and
pop out of the ground.
It's pretty cheap. And then the crappiest thing about volleyball is you have to get 15 points to win one of 3 matches. Now, if you win...
possible 3. Yeah.
No, we never lost in volleyball.
Thank God. We were close like twice.
Yeah, they got up to like 11 or 12 points. No, there was one where it was 15, 14.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude. I don't want to do this again.
Yeah, we had the extension in the points. That's when we found out that happens.
So that it's annoying because it's like, it's just long. And it doesn't matter who you're playing. Like, they're all kind of good at stopping you, so it's not like you can just dominate. You get the same coin system, though. Like, you can collect coins and get more points for your hits. But, dude, it still takes forever to do volleyball. And I was just playing, and I'm like, when the fuck is this going to end?
It seemed like the maps were more of an asshole in volleyball than in the other ones.
Yeah.
It's just like in Mario Kart or Smash Bros. Or something where the map is continually changing and adding elements, taking away elements. There'll be a train going through your shit and some stuff.
Yeah.
You'll have the net raise and lower and sometimes fuck you up.
Yeah, you got like fountain systems.
If you don't aim in the right spot. Yeah, the fucking fountains.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I mean, you can use those to your advantage in the hockey one sometimes, but in the volleyball one, you're like, like I've got like this like 2-foot square I can shoot the shot through.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they hit it back or not. But of course, now, the volleyball, I think I got it about 6 games in or something, where I was like, oh, I get the pattern. Bounce, 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 aim, shoot.
Yeah.
Someone on my team did not get that pattern. Someone on my team took until the 3rd tournament.
Yeah.
Probably 2 games into the third tournament. Oh, no, not that far, I guess. At least, no, it was that first game in that third tournament when it seemed like you finally understood what the fuck you were doing.
Yeah, the volleyball was rough, and I basically didn't want to. I just didn't want to learn.
I don't want to.
And it was easy enough. It's like, I don't have to. I don't want it. I don't have to.
Joe, make all the points.
Yeah.
Randomly.
I'll just set it up, and then that's how it'll work. So yeah, that one's like just imagine like Wii Tennis, but like garbage. And that's garbage and like 10 times longer than the longest Wii Tennis game I've ever fucking played. And that's each game of volleyball in this thing. It's crazy how long it takes. And it's not fun either. It's not a fun game mode.
No, I don't even think that would be fun not in a rush.
No, it's just not. It's clunky. It's weird. It's cheap how fucking much they can rip you off with their blocks and their stopping it. Like that one on hard would be crazy, I think. That one would be truly miserable on hard mode.
It felt like we were playing on expert already, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah, so the volleyball, I'd have to say that's probably the worst. That's definitely the worst one.
Oh, but for sure. But then the game gave us a break.
Yeah. The fourth and final and greatest game mode was the non-sport dodgeball. Basically, you got 2 people on each side. You got a third person that's behind you that's like the opponent.
Yeah, it's the person who's out.
Yeah, the opponent's out guy who can hit you from behind.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability to press A and B at the same time to catch a ball that's thrown at you, and then you just flick the Wiimote to throw the ball back. And this one, all you got to do, so the strategy's a little different in this one. You just crowd them out. Like you just like
you rush them.
Yeah, you just like shout them down. Like it's.
I thought it was like when it started, the first like dodgeball game, I was like, oh no, we actually have a hard one here. Like it's going to be random when I throw the ball, whether or not it hits them or they catch it. They could throw it at me. Maybe there's some timing stuff involved. Nope. You could throw that all by the wayside because in game number 1, there was like a guy and I caught the ball and I hit him. And then I caught the ball again and I hit him again. And I was like, oh shit. I can just be on the line up this guy's ass. I've never once not caught a fucking ball that didn't have like some special move on it.
Yeah.
So I just had to stand 1 foot away from a guy, wait for him to fucking throw something at me, and then I catch it and I throw it right back. And it has about like a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the guy, or he could catch it or whatever. But the cat, like, you have so much time to catch the ball. And as like talk about the fake outs.
Yeah, so there's an ability to like pump fake. You can like pretend that you're throwing it at them. But the I never did it once, I don't think. But the NPCs would do it all the time, and it's stupid because you go to like catch it as if they're going to throw it. But then if they were to throw it right after, you could still fucking catch it. So like the fake out's a complete waste.
The fake out takes too much time between the fake out and their next throw.
Yeah.
To make it like
so
to
it's
be
like,
useful
all right,
at all.
Well, then I'll just catch it next time, you fucker. Or if you fake me out again, I'll just not catch it and be ready to catch it next time.
The timing is the same on the move or on the fake out. And so, okay, I just will hit the buttons again and we'll catch it.
So Joe and I, man, I mean, half the time we would nail him with the ball. The ball would kind of like roll back to our side of the court where we're both like fucking piranhas just on that line, like, and then grab that shit and nail him again and grab it again and nail him again. And then there's a special move, which each mode has. It's usually like a fuck you move to get points. The special on this one, you could go to their side of the map, which in the last level is not advisable. But other than that, you can crowd the fuck out of them, man. You hit the special and you're up their ass. I hit him, you get the ball, you hit him, I get the ball, I hit him again. They can't fucking compute, man. They just can't do shit. And that's just how you beat this one. And so it's a totally different strategy. This one you have to really play the game. The other 3, no, 2 of them you have to really play the game. One of them's volleyball, which sucks. The other one's dodgeball, which was awesome. And then the other 2 you just have to like waste time.
Time is the enemy.
Yeah, time in the stage.
Hockey, you guys didn't know that.
Time and the stage are your enemy in those 2. But in this one, you just have to like go hard. The harder you go, and we were finishing tournaments in like 10 minutes.
So there is still a 2.5 minute like clock. I don't even know what happens when the clock runs out in dodgeball. I have no clue.
I don't even know what happens when you get to a minute and a half.
Because it would start at 2.5. There were some we beat at like 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
We beat the fucking game in 20 seconds. Or the round in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that one was actually kind of fun.
That one was fun.
Because it was so overpowered. You could just fucking we're just up there on the line just waiting.
We did.
Hit me.
I mean, to be fair, we played one game that was kind of fun, but kind of boring. Another game that was one of the most boring things you've ever played for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then for 3 hours, we played a very frustrating, awful game. And then we get 20 minutes of just fuck you, bully. You just wanted, because of all the frustration built up with volleyball, now you can finally take it out on someone.
Yeah, I feel like the pacing in this game was it seemed really bad, but then at the end, that cherry on the top with the dodgeball, it's okay, this is all right.
Yeah, it was, dude, if we had started, I'm glad the order was the order that it went in, because I can't imagine what depression we would have built up if we had started with volleyball.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had started with volleyball and we were looking at our watch. It was 3 hours later. We'd be like, we're not going to beat this game today. You might as well go home.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at the end of volleyball, I was kind of thinking what hell awaits now?
What hell awaits with fucking dodgeball?
Yeah, how long can we make dodgeball?
God.
Yeah, dodgeball definitely top tier.
We could have watched the movie Dodgeball twice while we were playing volleyball.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I will. Now I'm done. But yeah, it's so. I mean, overall, it's kind of honestly, it is a mix.
Honestly, yeah, I have mixed feelings about it too.
The basketball was kind of fun. I feel like hoops 3-on-3 was more fun, for sure.
It's a better game.
And the dodgeball was fun, but the hockey's boring as hell, and the volleyball is frustrating and not fun and long as fuck. Especially if the other team's kind of good, then it's forever. Because we're talking fucking 15, 14. You know how long that shit takes? It was a 15-minute match. I'm like, dude, there's fucking 30 matches in this game.
It takes forever to make a point.
Yeah, they because they got all these shitty moves that just mushroom out of the ground 5 miles away from me.
We do the same thing where it's we'll pass it back and forth and then we'll make a shot. No, they hit it. And then they try to get a shot on us. No, we died.
Yeah.
We were able to. So it's just.
So it's endless on both ends. It's just.
Yeah, we're actually playing hot potato. We're not playing volleyball at that point.
Yeah, so volleyball sucks.
Yeah, fuck volleyball. Any of you people out there that like volleyball, go fuck yourselves, okay?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Slip on a fucking banana peel, you shell eaters.
Yeah. Definitely not as good as Mario Hoops 3-on-3, which is kind of sad because...
No, and I did look it up. It was a follow-up to Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
I mean, it feels like it.
And there was planned, or maybe there is, a Mario Sports Mix Wii U, but it was downloadable. There was no physical copy on that one.
Oh.
And there might have been a Switch version too, but again, no physical copy game. We don't count it. So... and I wonder if that newest version would probably be closer to the Mario Hoops 3-on-3, because this is a Wii game, obviously. So we're just dealing with on my right arm, guys. I didn't realize how weak and sore my right arm was after all of this, nunchucking. We went to the gas station. I went and grabbed a soda, and I just felt the weight of the soda and the weakness of my arm, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Did I really? I did. I just worked out my fucking arm with my masturbation hand.
Yeah.
For 6 hours, I flicked my wrist up and down. I don't recommend that. I feel like it's gonna be sore in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, I feel fine, but
do you feel it at all?
Not really.
Damn, maybe I'm going too hard.
Maybe. Yeah, you gotta loosen up that grip.
Yeah, I gotta loosen that grip. Enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Maybe some sort of lubrication or something.
Yeah, that might help.
Can I add what else was bothering me throughout this game? I'm itchy as fuck all over right now. I don't know what. I think there's like two things it could have been. One is like a new cologne that my girlfriend like gave me. And then another thing was like I got in the shower today and it was cold within like a minute. So all I did was put conditioner on and then like it wasn't even completely dry because the shower went from like boiling hot where I like it to nothing. And I was like, fuck, I'm getting out of here. I was not clean. I was just like, just had fucking on my face and probably my neck. Conditioner only. Not fully cleaned off, not wiped away. And I don't know which it is, but I have had like an itch around my neck, largely little itches over other parts of my body. I touched my eye earlier and my eye was like red and swollen. So I washed my hands and try to like itch my eye, and then I put like some Visine in there. Dude, I'm having an allergic reaction to something. Yeah. And I was like, Caleb, what the fuck have you been in? Like, what happened to me this morning? Like, what was the new variable that it showed up in my life? And I cannot point my finger at it right now. I am still itchy. So all during volleyball, or the first half of volleyball where it was really bad, I was just like, like, am I going to have to go to the store, get Benadryl, and be falling asleep playing this game? That was a nightmare situation in my head.
Yeah, instead he's just falling asleep reviewing this game.
Yeah, I just decided to like, just try not to itch myself and just like tamp down on it. Didn't do a perfect job, but man, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So that was just like another thing in the shit pile of the volleyball.
Damn, it's rough.
Yeah, it was a rough time.
Truly rough game.
What'd you think of the music?
I mean, it was good.
Masayoshi Soken.
Yeah, I feel like it was like almost Final Fantasy music. It was like, it's like the essence of Final Fantasy music a little bit. Like nothing really stood out a ton, but it was like, I can't tell if this is actually something from Final Fantasy or if it just kind of sounds like something that would be from Final Fantasy. And that's kind of where we were with the music in this game, I feel. So I thought it was good. I mean, it's nothing like top tier.
Some the music in at least one place looked like sounded like the Sting music for like a news channel.
Oh yeah,
like on an all new 60 Minutes or whatever. Like yeah, it sounded like that. It was otherwise, yeah, it sounded very Mario-esque. Honestly, knowing that it was Soken, maybe it's because we knew it was Soken. There were some tracks that sounded like. They didn't sound like 14, but they did sound like his instrumentation, where it's like there's a lot.
Yeah,
I would say, and yeah, I don't know, you feel like a little bit of Soken texture in there. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's in there. And as far as like, we didn't even mention the final boss fight, which was the other Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
connection.
The behemoth. You basically just run across the little Mario question marks. And you get superpowers, and you use those to throw shit at the behemoth. And you can use combos and teamwork and shit. But
yeah, we got one big combo, and it took like half of his health down, which was cool. But then I was like, okay, how fast is the combo bar gonna build up? And it was not fast at all.
It's like one time. So it just took a few minutes. It kind of felt like Crystal Chronicles almost when we were doing that. Like, not as frustrating, obviously, but
like the hilarious thing, we joked about this. The other Final Fantasy thing was like crystals, and they get the sport ball crystals.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's like, how could we make this for the nerds? How can we make this sports game for the nerds?
Yeah, the 4 heroes of sport.
So it had that. God, what else was in this game?
Yeah, the Moogle, the White Mage, the Red Mage.
The crack Moogle.
Yeah, that Moogle's rough, man. He's like homeless.
Caleb said he had like a liver. He was having liver failure or something.
Yeah, it's like a alcoholic Moogle. His hair's all fucked up. Like he's got a sign. He
looks ratty.
Yeah, like weird. It's weird.
That's probably the worst Moogle design I've seen in the.
More than 15s? You think so?
Oh yeah, that's just like the gross doll, huh?
Yeah, they're both kind of nasty.
Yeah,
At least this one. I mean, this one it's real though.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like alive.
Okay, second worst.
Whereas the 15, it's just a doll.
Or the Moogles could stand out in a worse way than in 13. 2.
Yeah,
So
they're
remember,
offensively.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I know what a Moogle is because I'm a fucking Final Fantasy nerd, but the fucking characters in Final Fantasy 13 didn't look at that thing and go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This whole world is full of sharp lines and diffusion and crystalline stuff. What the fuck is that thing?
Yeah. What kind of horror is that? That's poofiness.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, that's high shrill voice. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, so this crack Moogle. I don't know. There's not that much to this game.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Clearly.
I mean, I think it would have been a lot of fun with 4 people. I think it'd be a fun party game. Never going to play it with 4 people. I'm pretty much done playing it, but I think it would have been cool, and it might have, like, back in the day, you know, when we were teenagers, I think it would have been fun for a little bit. I don't know if I would have, like, beat it back then, because I would have got to the volleyball and been like...
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking about all the other sports games around there, like Mario, Wii stuff.
Yeah.
Mario Sports is better. Or, excuse me, Wii Sports is better.
Oh, yeah. Wii Sports is amazing.
I don't know what the public consensus on Mario Strikers is, but me and my friends had at least a good week playing Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
Mario Kart
Yeah.
never gets old. It's the only fucking Switch game I've bought with my own money. And yeah, there was Double Dash back in the day, and there was Mario Kart 7.
Yeah.
On the Wii, so Mario Kart Wii. I can't remember what the actual name of that thing is. Yeah, I don't think this would be high up on the list of games to play. Although, like you said before, sold 2 million copies, so what the fuck do I know, I guess.
Yeah. I know.
Is that what just Mario's name brings you in
I guess.
the Wii? Because the Wii outsold all the other consoles, at least early on. It outsold all the other consoles by like twice.
Yeah.
Like,
I think in the end,
The Wii it's crazy how the Wii like took over the world for a few years. Right?
Yeah, everybody wanted it, and it was
Even like your grandma would want a Wii.
Yeah, my grandpa had a Wii. He
Okay,
played
that's
the
crazy.
bowling.
I mean, he is a boy, but so he should have yeah,
Yeah,
he was born with one. But
that's right.
either way, like I guess that might be a good reason why it sold as well as it did. 'Cause
Yeah.
people aren't talking about it. Like, yeah, I've never heard of this game. In 10 years of doing a fucking Final Fantasy podcast, god damn it, with all the Final Fantasy stuff we thought accounted for, this one was like an afterthought,
Yeah,
which is wild.
it is. Yeah, considering that many copies, because like normal games don't sell that well. Like that's kind of crazy for that. I mean, like Zelda and like there's big flagships, and Mario is one of those flagships for them. But this is like not really a Mario.
It's
It's like a party, not even a party game. It's like a fucking, I don't know. It's whatever. It's a sports mix, bro. That's what it is.
You want to hear one of the most, like, something that was pulled, like it was something that like someone pulled the rug out from under us once. The library, the Springville Library, used to have like activity nights. Probably still do. I don't know. And my friends and I saw this thing and it said Video Game Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah, we were like, oh, what is this? Must be where we play multiplayer games of some kind. And then there's some sort of tournament or something, involved. We go because Video Game Olympics, right? Sounds pretty sweet. You know what game it was?
Wii Sports?
It was fucking Sonic Olympics.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like Sonic and Mario Olympic something.
Oh, I've seen that game, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get
We had fun. It was fun. There was people there and we had fun. It was a social thing. But I can't remember if I was any good at the games or not. I can't remember at all. But yeah, that was lame.
Yeah. It's like, where's Halo 2?
Don't put fucking if that's like that was a bait and switch, right?
Yeah.
Video game Olympics. That's all it said, basically. Come over and we're gonna play, competitive video games. And it's, of course, like the game no one would have bought ever. Like none of the people who were there would have bought this fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's on the same skill level at least. All brand new.
That's a good point.
So no one bought it. So
I'm thinking about that game and this game are kind of in the same like category of like big character on the cover, random ass sports game, probably about C+ quality.
yeah.
Like easily forgotten. Now I'm wondering how much that game sold. Like if the Mario Sonic Olympic game, I thought it was Mario and Sonic, but let me look it up.
I think it is. Because I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And it was a Wii game, right?
Yeah, it was Wii. It was a Wii game. Again, because the Wii took over the world.
Yeah, the Wii's like the next PS2 with the shovelware. Just fucking whatever the fuck you can imagine.
Basically.
It's a game. It's a Scorpion King game. I want it on PS2.
Oh.
Shit movie.
Is that not just watch?
Yeah.
Is that not just watch that one part of Mummy 2?
Oh, that looks like absolute ass.
No, that's there's a 2020 one. There's more than one. Oh, it's a whole series. Oh.
Damn. Maybe that's why I've seen it, because there's more.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Nintendo. Here we go. The whole game series. The first game was for 2008. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So we were too old for this bait and switch. That was not cool.
Yeah.
God damn you fucking wiki and your goddamn ads everywhere. Fucking shit.
You only get 1/3 of the screen for us. The
Yeah,
rest is
clearly.
for ads.
All right, well. Anyway, do you have any final thoughts on this thing while I attempt to figure this information out?
I mean, it's not that great. And, like, I want to say it would have been fun, but, like, I don't know how much I would have really even played back in the day. And I can't imagine spending $50 on this and then playing it and being like, what the fuck? There's some fun game modes. Dodgeball's fun. I think it would be fun with 4 people, but I don't know if it's fun enough to justify. Why, what?
This one outsold this.
Are you serious?
No. This Olympic game outsold Mario Sports Mix by a lot.
Really?
7 million copies.
What the fuck? on the wiki, when I was looking at this, it was like making it one of the best-selling Wii games. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Under 2 mil? Like, the Zelda games are like at least 2 million each every time. And the new ones are like 20.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Zelda is...
The new ones are supposed to be amazing. I own one of them. I haven't played it.
I think it's crazy, like, just some perspective on this. Like, all games that sell over 1 million copies are like huge games. But we have grown through a period like of time where games have just like shot up in popularity like crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you can just see it where you're like, Halo was, when I was a kid, like the biggest thing ever. It like took over everything, like Halo 2.
Yeah.
And then you look at the copies sold, and it's like, gosh, I want to say it's like 10 million or something. It's a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's like 15 million. It's a lot. But there's still games that have outsold it now.
Yeah.
And they don't take over the world because there's so many fucking games and everybody's playing games.
Yeah. It is.
Like Halo 2 was like on the news. It was on the front page headline, like all this crazy shit. They had midnight releases and all these things. And all the parents were wondering about this game that everyone was playing that has violence in it or whatever. Now it's like no one gives a shit. Like even if a game could sell that many copies and its like cultural impact is way less.
Yeah. It is
because of
kinda
how games have like blown up. They've both blown up, but at the same time, there's like, because of all the independent stuff and everything, it's not like it's being curtailed by any like 3 or 4 organizations like Hollywood kind of does. It's like it's a whole myriad of companies.
Yeah, and stuff will like catch fire, but it's like catching fire is nothing compared to what it was.
There are best-selling games that I don't hear about till like 6 months later, which is wild to me. Like, that's crazy. I guess maybe if it would be different if I were like, maybe this still dates me, but like checking IGN every day, or like, I was gonna say like getting Game Facts,
Game Informer.
Game Informer.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, yeah, because I remember when I had Game Informer, I'd be like kind of up to date on like what the big game of the week would be.
Yeah, but there's so many now that it's like, fuck that. Even when I had Game Informer, I was like, all right, I'm going to read it all because I love games. And I read like one, and I was like, dude.
I would never read it
I can't do that.
But, yeah.
I would just look for the games I liked and be like, oh, yeah, I knew it was great. Game Informer agrees. But yeah, it is kind of weird. But yeah, like Grand Theft Auto 5, it's like 150 million or something. Something crazy. Like Minecraft is like one of the biggest games ever made. Yeah, a lot of people do Minecraft, but still.
Honestly, I have 2 people in my life that play that game.
Yeah.
My entire life that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
That play Minecraft regularly. 2.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm like, how is this such a huge game?
Yeah, like who the fuck is playing this?
Who's playing this game?
Why are you not playing Conan Exiles right now? What is wrong with you?
It's like the same, only it plays worse.
Yeah, only everything is worse.
But you get boobs.
Yeah, you get boobs and dong if you're on PC.
Damn. Yeah, what kind of a game do you play if it doesn't have dong in it?
Yeah. Can't drag your dick in the sand? Not playing it.
I don't even look at a game cover if I'm not assured beforehand that it has dong.
There's going to be a dick in there. Yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you feel my dong?
Yeah, I feel your dong. Yeah, not much to say about this though. It was fun coming up or coming down and playing. I mean, that was
no, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming down instead of me going up. I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice quick romp through dodgeball, and then a very, very slow romp through the other 3 games. Yeah. But yeah, I had a good time. You still have a decent time if it's multiplayer. That's why we do it. Because in the non-multiplayer games that are very long, you don't have that camaraderie.
No.
Unless you're just on PSN. Like
just talking.
And you can have a bit of a conversation while you're going. But it's not the same as being like, go fucking serve me the shot, you fuck. You know, you don't have any of those moments.
Yeah.
You're like, no, Caleb, because I remember fucking volleyball. Fucking volleyball. The amount of time it took for me to get like, no, Caleb, you got to stand. Like, in my mind, there was a grid on our volleyball side. And like, there was like the 2 front rows and the back 2 rows, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Caleb, you're in the back. So any of the shots that are coming towards the back, you need to get. And then I'll take care of the front ones.
You make it sound so easy, you know?
Well, apparently there's a drift in Caleb's controller.
Yeah.
Because Caleb would always kind of drift right next to my guy. And what happens when the fucking volleyball comes at you and you're right next to each other, you're both doing the flick motion with the Wii, with the Wiimote.
Always flick your Wii off.
You're always fucking flicking that Wii up. And then both your guys jump, and I can't tell on the screen because there's too much shit going on who actually hit the fucking ball. So then the next thing you do is do the exact same thing because one of the ball hits was a pass and the other one needs to like serve the ball, and then you do it again, of course, because you're on top of each other. So this is just like, it's a quick succession, but you're like jump, okay, and then you shoot it, but there's no finesse in it because you don't know who has the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And that happened all the fucking time. Or like, of course, the most obvious thing was that we'd be super open to any shot ever because we're right next to each other. Like, and they would get the points. So
yeah.
Don't play volleyball with Kaleb twice. It's a bad idea. That's the moral of that story. No, he eventually kind of got it.
Yeah, still wasn't great.
Like, what was the switch in your head? Like, what made you understand the game?
I don't know. Randomness.
Because I tried to tell you, I was like, oh, I remember you're like, oh, the aiming thing. I remember you were doing this like gangster pistol like motion with the Wii where it was like upside down.
Yeah.
With the Wiimote, and I'm like, that's not helping you. And you're like, I'm just swinging. I'm like, what are you doing?
Just gotta flail. It's a Wii game. You just flail till you win. You know.
Man. So that happened. Yeah. Anyway, where do you rank this against Mario Hoops 3-on-3?
Oh, worse. It's the worst one.
Oh yeah.
Hoops 3-on-3 is better.
Yeah, Hoops 3-on-3 aged better, controls are better, it plays smoother. This game's clunkier. There's things in the games that are like not great, kind of just like running with the ball or whatever. Like,
yeah,
there's no incentive for me to make any more points.
Yeah, it's like almost too easy. Mario Hoops kind of got a little difficult. I lost a few times. We didn't lose. We lost like a match, but never a round or a tournament in this. So.
Yeah, and the Wii just hasn't aged as well, I guess.
No, it's kind of
general. Although we did do the CRT TV, we played it the way it's meant to be played, but still.
Yeah.
Still kind of a rough time.
I mean, I'm playing Twilight Princess right now, and that's a million times smoother than this game.
It's true.
So, like, it's not just the Wii. It's the fucking Square Enix on this thing.
It's the game,
like, the Square stank.
That old Square stank.
Yeah, so not as good as Hoops 3-on-3, which is surprising because there's more variety in this one, but variety is not always the spice of life. That would be my douchebag review of this game, my shitlord critic review.
Variety's not always the spice of life. Sometimes you don't want to mix it up.
Yeah, you know how they always have they always do that kind of shit. Like
there's find some sort of like a play on words,
some shitty thing
asshole
to say.
Thing, yeah,
that'd be mine.
Yeah, we are those people though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
occasionally we come up with something clever. Occasionally, I don't know. Somewhere in our 300 episodes, you can probably find at least 4 or 5 moments where we came up with something clever.
Yeah, maybe
in being critics of games at this. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, the next game we are going to play is Xenogears. It's going to take us a little longer than we thought because when we were looking at the schedule and what games needed to be played or whatever, it just was kind of clear that Kaleb needed to stop and play the 2 new clan games that he owed before we jumped into the last 4 UFF games. So I've played 1 hour of Xenogears. It was a great first hour, I'm excited to play more of it. I tried to stream it, but my streaming, there's something, I think is my Elgato, like the actual streaming card is it's just not recognizing what I'm trying to stream.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Like, it's lighting up though still, so it doesn't seem like it's, fried or anything, but I don't know what happened. It just is not letting me stream because I was going to try to stream Xenogears.
Right.
So unfortunately, no stream of Xenogears. I think my streaming days are over as far as this podcast is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't streamed for a while, so I feel you.
Well, you couldn't before, like with your setup you had and all the kids you have and in the room. You could now.
Yeah, but then it was all Kingdom Hearts too, and that's just.
And then Kingdom Hearts was blocked. Yeah, I was trying to stream Kingdom Hearts and it would
constantly.
block me.
And they'd give us strikes and threaten us.
Yeah,
fucking douchebags.
Anyway, so if you want to follow us on Twitch, you can. We do still do the episodes live.
Yeah. You can hang out with us there.
Twitch.tv/Ultimate Final Fantasy. So next time we do Xenogears, you can hop on. But the Xenogears reviews and questions, you can give that to us on our Discord, which join the Discord. The link is in the description of this episode. And you can also email us at fffanatics123@gmail.com to send us those questions and reviews for Xenogears. And then right after Xenogears, we're probably going to go straight into...
Bravely.
Oh, gosh. Are we going to do Bravely Default and then the 7 Rebirth? Or is it...
I don't know if we'll have time.
The other way
It'll
around.
probably be 7 Rebirth, then Bravely.
It might be Xenogears, then 7 Rebirth, and then 3 Bravely games in a row.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
We will
Based on the
bravely go
timing.
forth. But
Into the night.
yeah, there's also... I'm going to be in Mexico for a week and a half.
We'll bravely go forth into retirement.
In the middle of February, so that's really great timing for that, but for the switch over. Anyway, yeah, this was a fun time. But the game, if it's like, what was it like? No, this game was more expensive than it should have been. Don't buy this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't buy.
Yeah, fuck this. No, this was $35 and it's not worth $35. This is $10 bin.
Dude, I bought
game.
I bought for $35. I bought Mad World, which is like that black and white Wii game that's super violent.
Yeah.
And Skyward Sword, I bought on Facebook Marketplace for $35 for both of those two.
Yeah, this is not worth it.
And I'm sure Skyward Sword is probably at least twice as good as this game.
This game is not worth $35.
Yeah. That's crazy. What the
Yeah.
fuck? But man, the old games are like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, some of them are getting like, it's weird. So now is a really good time to get a used PS4. They're like $100.
Yeah.
It's a really good time to get a used PS4. They're probably not going to go down that much more in price. They're probably going to go down maybe to like 80.
Maybe.
And then they're going to sit at 80 until they get old. And then they're going to go up in price. It's kind of like you saw that with like the PS2 and stuff.
Yeah.
It starts at a certain level, and then, it sat around like the $50 range for a while, and now it's crawling back up.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I've been like addicted to Facebook Marketplace, like unhealthily.
I also go through Facebook Marketplace. I look at workout equipment, and I look at everything, really.
I got a bunch of workout.
I look at how much places are renting for around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a PS3, another one, the other day. It was $100, but it was a PS3.
Don't you have mine too? So you have how many fucking PS3s?
I don't have yours. I have 3 of them now, though. So I have too many PS3s.
You don't have mine?
No, I think yours is broken, wasn't it?
It's annoyed with PS1 discs.
Yeah, that's not always. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a PS3, a slim PS3, the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, the one that my son broke years ago. Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, which I already had, but this one has like the booklet and all that. And then 2 other games.
Can't wait to read up on that game.
And it was $100. And I was like, that's pretty good.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I saw that Metal Gear Solid and I was like, I want to buy it right now. When can I come
they
over
have
to
a
you?
remake of that. It's in Walmart.
Yeah, I saw that on the PS5. I've heard mixed reviews, but I was like, fuck, I want that PS3 collection of Metal Gear Solid again. That alone that cost me $80 before. Man. It's only worth like 60, but I'm like, fuck 60 for that. 3 other games and a new PS3. And my old PS3, my OG one, is getting kind of fucky.
Getting rocky.
Yeah, so it's kind of starting to piss me off a little bit. Like I have to. That's like a whole like rub its belly, pat its head shit. I got to do to get it to work.
I was gonna give you my PS3.
I'll just have 4. I have 4 fucking PSPs now because of you. Because I bought an extra one because like mine was missing.
I bought one from Caleb Craig.
Yeah, the fucking Winter Wonderland PSP. Fucking guy drops it outside of his house. It freezes over, and then he finds it in the spring.
Yeah, you're gonna have to replace all the batteries.
Mine are fine.
Okay, well that's good.
Somehow, like I have taken care of my PSP in such a way that it's not exploding battery. Everyone online though, like whenever I see PSPs on the marketplace, they're always like battery's fucked up. I'm like, what are you guys doing to these things? Like, I am not a careful person with my shit. Like,
my assumption is just
heat or something, maybe.
Probably really cold temperatures is what I would guess.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, that makes sense with the snow one.
Or really hot, but I have no idea what happened to that thing. It was fine like a year before because we had played some PSP game or something.
Yeah, we had to do Dissidias.
And then suddenly there was like the battery can't fit into the back of this thing.
It's like too fat.
Yeah,
too fat for its pants.
What is happening right now?
Yeah, this fucking PSP is a slob.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like addicted to that marketplace. But
yeah, 35's not. It's not worth 35. This game.
No.
This game's worth 10.
Yeah, $10 would be fine, I guess. I mean, I got it for free, so that's kind of nice.
I mean, maybe with inflation, 12.
Never gonna play it again, but it'll sit there, and I'll be like, I remember that game.
I remember that game.
Remember volleyball? Sucks ass.
It is nice to have the games, the physical games, and the DVDs when your internet goes out.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. Like, oh, the Wi-Fi is not working today? Well, good thing I have an entire shelf of entertainment.
Yeah, I do the physical games for sure. It's getting less and less important just because like less goes into them, but like artwork and like the old Square PS1 games are awesome for like got like character bios and like the map and cool shit like that. That's getting less and less. But even then though, because the nice thing is like I can buy a new game and that means somebody else I know doesn't have to buy it. They just have to wait till I'm done with it and then they can play it too for free. And I do that kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So like I think it's worth it to buy physical. Even though now it's like it's just a fucking novelty item because it's like, oh, we're gonna download it all.
Yeah, download it all, and then you have to use the disc, and I'm like, fuck
like,
you.
What a douche. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my moment of crossover.
Like I can,
where I was like, because we've had this conversation like years ago probably on this show, where it was like, we love physical. But then the moment they started doing like it's physical, but you're still downloading the entire fucking game on your hard drive. Only this time we're going to lock you out of it.
If you don't have the disc.
If you don't have the disc, it's like, oh, so it's actually a negative if I have the disc. Oh, thanks guys. I got your message. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, gotta play this game. I gotta get off my ass and go fucking grab it. It's like, it's already there on the screen. I see it. Like, what are you doing? What are we fucking doing here? And I understand.
Wouldn't it be nice if it just played off the disc? But I guess it's too big, now.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Like, digital rights stuff is also a weird place to be in. There's now a panic going on, probably the last, 6 months, when it comes to, movie stuff.
Yeah.
Where a lot of film people are like, they have no plans to print Blu-rays of these things, these classic things, and it's not showing up on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit. Like the movie that won Best Foreign Language Film in 2010, I believe, or 2008. It's one of those 2 years. Those 2 years are the ones popping up in my head right now. It's called Departures. Amazing movie. There was a small DVD release when it came out, and it was on digital for a little while. I bought it when it was on digital because the DVD was $1 gazillion. Now it's not on Amazon anymore. So Amazon lets me watch it because I own it. But when I search for it, or at least this was a few months ago, maybe they brought it back since then. But when I searched for it on Amazon Prime one day, I was just trying to look for it. It was said not available in this territory or whatever. And I was like, this is a fucking Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it is not available anywhere legally. You can buy a used DVD or one of the printed DVDs for $1 million. But why?
Yeah.
Why is that even necessary to do?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of hit and miss with that. Like, I bought all the Mission Impossibles on Vudu because it was $30.
That's
for
good.
Fucking
That's
6
good.
movies.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I mean, I only had to watch 2 more of them, but I was like, for the future, if I want to watch them again, I got them all. But normally I am now that I got a big ass house and space, I'm starting to think about going back to physical movies. Because for a while I would just buy it on Vudu because it was cheaper. And during COVID, all the theaters were shut down and shit. And it's like, well, $30 on Vudu is like $20 less than it would be to go out to the movies.
Well,
and they don't want me there. So
a Blu-ray or a 4K Blu-ray, they're oftentimes, and I think every time for 4K Blu-ray, they are a higher quality stream than streaming. Like the visual quality of the physical media, they're able to put more information in than what Netflix or whatever is able to serve up through their streaming stuff. Like there's less compression in the image, better color, all that is there, and there's more detail in it, and it's more true to like what it was actually like intended to look like.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I'm sure stuff on Netflix is probably all very catered to their like Netflix originals are probably very catered to what their streaming platform actually looks like visually. But other movies that were like released theatrically or on other platforms, like they all have their own look, and Blu-ray is kind of the best option for the home viewing market in terms of like how it looks for the people who made the movie. But yeah, there's a panic going around. Netflix has some great movies that they've made, and TV shows, and they'll sometimes do a limited run on Blu-ray or DVD, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
When they do that, but I wish it was all of them. Like, I wish you didn't have to hunt these things down. Like, I don't know what happened to like Amazon's Create Space thing where you could just like print Blu-rays like of your own family stuff. Like, it seems like you should be able to just like go to the Warner Brothers website and like just pick a fucking movie on their catalog, print the Blu-ray, and have it sent to you.
Yeah.
Like, they would just have to have like one like building, probably like one warehouse kind of dedicated to that with all the machines for all that and the shipping, and that would be it.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard.
No, it would be an investment, but I do think they would actually make their money on that. I do.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be enough people who want physical media for enough decades in the future that I think it would probably end up being like a good investment on their part. It's also a library investment. Like, what if something happens to the source material, the film or the digital files or something?
True, yeah.
Then we can rip it off of these high quality 4K Blu-rays and still have some sort of surviving version of this thing. Same with the games. I mean, that's the sad thing about the games. They're all in like, they're in a fucking server somewhere.
Yeah.
That could go. Like, a fucking terrorist could come in and blow up a fucking building in Japan and like half of our games are gone. Like,
yeah, that is true. That's the modern conundrum with these things.
I'm sure there's, computer nerd ways of like dealing with that, but in my mind, where a thing is stored where you put it, like, yeah, that's the danger there. Like with our movies, we have to do at least 2 backups in 2 totally different places in case something happens to one.
Yeah.
Like, I have a 10 terabyte, no, not a 10, 20 terabyte hard drive in there that was hundreds of dollars that will store a third backup of all of the footage for one of the movies I've made. So, like, and every 5 years we're supposed to update these things. Like, you're supposed to do another new backup onto a new hard drive every 5 years. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we thought it would be all easier, but now I'm going to have like a safe at some point when I'm like 60 years old. I'm going to have a safe filled with a fucking like hard drive after hard drive after hard drive. And then someone else is going to have a safe in some other place with hard drive after a matching hard drive after hard drive after hard drive. And that's like all the information. It's all just got to sit there in like this. I don't know. It could go away in any second.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about it. Anyway.
It is nuts.
So, weird diatribe aside about physical media. Don't buy this one. Throw this one in the trash.
Yeah.
Let it rot with time. But
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, though, guys.
Thanks for hanging out. We already did our plugs, but you can check out our Discord or you can email us at fffanatics123@gmail.com. We appreciate you guys listening to us, and get ready for Xenogears.
Yeah. Join us for that. Give us your reviews. It's a big game. We want to hear everyone's opinion. So thanks for hanging out. Until next time, enjoy the grind.